Maar er zijn zot veel ruimte aan het tussen als de banden al klaar gaan zijn tegen de start.
It's nice
Ja,
to watch.
wel.
It's
Ik ga nog even
I
wachten hier,
personally
zie, ik
like
ga even
spectating
traag
it
rijden.
more than I do like driving it. Since
Fuckers.
it looks absolutely amazing.
Ja, die
Like,
gasten achter ons zijn
you
niet
get
aan het
that
volgen, jong.
authentic kind of F1 look.
But then again,
But then when you drive, it's
Dus
kind
Nova.
of
yeah.
not as good and it's
Ja, no
buggy
shit,
and
wie is het anders?
But then again, doesn't ACC kind of look better?
yeah, it does. It looks. I mean, that's. I think that's kind of objective. You need to, or not objective,
Yeah,
subjective. Yeah, you need to kind of look at it like, do you like the look that ACC has, since it has more of the Unreal Engine, like since it uses the Unreal Engine. And
Oh,
I
jong.
mean, it's
Dan
not
ben ik
smooth.
niet, hè.
Dat Kevin.
Yeah, F1 uses their own
Mother.
game engine.
Dat was echt
Ik weet niet, ik denk
zwaar,
dat
hè.
het
And then they can like
net of zo. Mijn
do-
koord bijna.
like, it looks really colorful. That's the thing.
Yeah, really vibrant. And
Allee,
it's
succes.
Yeah, and
Als ik een betere start heb, ga je mij laten meteen of niet? Langs buiten.
Ja, wie is die vraag?
As now we're going to go ahead and get started. 5 red lights here. And it's lights out and away we go for the home race of FPR. Looks like Jordy got a better line off the start, but Pastor Maldonado already dropping back at the second stage of this race, coming into turn 1. It looks like Jordy going down the inside of Bulbasaur. They're going wheel to wheel into turn 1. Everyone getting through pretty cleanly. I mean, there's usually some contact, but no one off track, no one backwards. Now we come into the S section. You can see the pit stop strategy, probably a 1 or 2 stop.
Well-
There's a okay.
Oh, wat een... Kijk naar de stream! Wat een patatenkerel.
Like, and then just, yeah, that kind of caused
Wat
like
een patatenkerel.
what kind of a chain of
Hoe is dat geen safety car? Het is like 4 man op elkaar.
P11.
And Love to Race, who started, as we said, P16, is now up into P11 already. And it looks like the only retiree that we have is Mosif. And I'm pretty sure after this race there's going to be some steward reports for remove this penalty, remove that penalty. But Ampado and Philp are still in the back, but they both have front wing damage. Oh yeah, Ampado, that front wing
Het is
damage
virtual safety car, hè, niet een
all
echte.
gone. It's going to
Ja,
be hard
dat
to turn that car, but the virtual safety car is out. It might end on the straight.
Maar hij is van een lange.
But
Godverdomme.
I
That's
think,
interesting.
yep, what about it?
Yeah, I mean, since that was a pretty big
Oh
crash,
fuck.
you would think that the game would pull out the like full car safety car, since I mean most people kind of stranded right on the track. I don't know.
Wie heeft er mij in mijn gat
Going back
geramd?
to green.
Ja, ik
Yeah.
As you said, and Bulbasaur already up
Allee,
in P3 as well.
gratis dingen hè, Robbe.
He got past Mr. Unicorn around the outside, and Mal's not in P2, but Nova makes that double overtake. He does run wide though, and Nova is up in P3. Maldonado coming into the pits.
Ik was 80 per uur! Oh my god.
Wat is er gebeurd?
And look, he's in P11.
Ik was
What happened
80
to
per
him?
uur!
Oh, okay, I think
Ah, fuck,
he
ik moet nog
missed
een
the pit stop,
drive-through
spun
hebben.
round, and then came back.
Ah, jongen.
I mean, I think Bulbasaur at
Yeah.
least he got front wing damage.
Kom aan, ik rijd 80 per uur en ik krijg een penalty.
It's interesting since,
Oh,
like you
let's
said,
go.
he has to like, he doesn't have to get points, but if his championship rival Ahmed wins and gets the fastest lap, this race and the next one he'll win the championship, right? Which is interesting since in this like crucial moment for Pastor Maldonado, he wants to get as many points as possible so he can wrap up the championship as soon as possible. He's out of points now.
Well, he's out of the points, but he has taken that first pit stop. Look, but he does have a penalty.
Hoezo is
Let's
daar
actually
geen
take a look
safety
at those
car?
penalties that everyone has. Mal's not with a drive-through. So, was he speeding in the pit lane? Possibly. Bulbasaur also with a drive-through penalty. So what happens?
Ja, Robbe, jij gaat voor de win moeten gaan, ik ga het hier niet.
I mean, look at
Het is
sabotage
altijd wel
at
iets met
start,
deze race.
like making up 7
Oh,
positions,
okay.
second last race, and Adam 8 positions up from the after lap 2. I mean, could last race get points?
Well, he's in P8 right now. That's where he finished last time. Mosif, pretty. I mean, he leaves the session. That definitely makes sense, as you can see. That car was. I think someone's gonna screenshot that and make them their profile picture. But as we continue on, yeah, what happened there? I think we'll have to investigate that after the race finishes.
Yeah, and I think there's definitely going to be some kind of penalty reports coming in after that crash.
For sure,
If
but
not,
as you said,
hopefully we-
sabotage up to P3, making up 7 positions on that opening start 8 positions gain for both Love to Race and Adam. They started P16, P17 this race and are now up to P, P8, P9.
laatste,
So
man.
that's definitely good for them.
Fuck.
But Maldonado retires from the session in the pits.
Nee.
Actually, that's not even in the
Oké,
pits.
gelukkig.
I think that's Love to Race coming by. Or that's not. That's Phil.
Ah, wat moet ik doen qua
So,
strategie? Ik weet het
What
niet.
has happened to Maldonado?
Wat?
DNF'd himself out of this race.
Wat?
Is that,
Bre, ik ben hier warnings en dingen aan het krijgen.
I don't know. I mean, with
Drive
my safety
through.
car here, currently, I don't know if he decided to.
Wat een shitshow is dat hier,
Or
B?
maybe he actually hit the pit ball. Like
Het is echt allemaal
maybe
gefuckt.
he could-
Wat was het?
I mean, we'll have to see. Maldonado, do you have a? If he's in here, maybe he has like some replay of it.
Possibly, but with Maldonado retiring, this has blown the championship wide open for Amitz. You know, Maldonado's not going to be getting any points from his current 113. Amitz finishing P5, that's going to be 80 points for him, so he's going to have to gain 33 points in the next 2 races. That's possible. That's definitely possible.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, and the race is over. It's only lap 3.
Dan moet ik nog een
and
nieuw
we have a
paar
safety car
mediums.
up, which could
I know.
Ik ga je
make
nou
it
nog
so
een nieuw
Amitz
paar
could
mediums
make
think
a
it's
really good
soft
stop, and then just gain off of that.
Allee, half
And the safety car's waiting at turn 1, but as you were saying, this game so weird with the safety car. I mean, we're seeing Johnny or Mr. Unicorn, Amitz, or Mr. Unicorn, Sabotage, Nova, and Cuthbert all taking their pit stops. That makes sense for them. But the safety
Maar
car
Haas, waarom is die Delta zo
strange.
traag?
I mean, like, we didn't get a safety car for
Ik heb
that
ook een
opening
drive-thru, ik had niet
collision
door.
with, like 6 drivers or something. And now Maldonado retires to the side
Ja,
of the
nu
road
kunnen het
and
niet
it
doen.
pulls out the full safety car. But
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that the Codemasters, like F1 games, they have a bit of work to do, kind of, with their systems.
clearly they're not
Same
code
kind of-
masters, maybe code apprentices or something, but not at the moment.
Yeah,
Ha!
right.
Goeie grap.
Although I think, I mean,
Jordi?
looking at it from
Ja.
the programming
Waarom
side,
zeg jij hier?
it could be quite hard to
Ik
kill. I
bedoel,
mean,
waarom zeg je hier?
penalties, yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty much
Mediums.
that's difficult since in
Ja,
the
deze
real life
mediums kunnen
games,
gemakkelijk tot aan de regen
they
gaan.
review everything.
No, I'm
But
sure
in
it's
the
not.
game, you need to have like a really like. This is where
Ik heb ook een drive
this is where you
through.
get a penalty,
Echt gefucked, hè.
and this is where you don't.
Dat is uit, ik echt alles verliezen, hè, omdat
Ja,
we...
mooi, een drive-through dat er iemand in mijn gat zit.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
they could clean up the track limits. I get what they're
Sorry,
trying
maat,
to
het
do.
was
You know,
mijn fout.
they're using the.
Maar ik weet dat niet, ik was redelijk op de limiet aan het rijden, maar...
Ik denk dat we mogen blij zijn dat één van ons 3 kan winnen. Nou, dat wij het allemaal gefuckt
Ja,
hebben.
boys, nu gaan we een samenwerking.
Like, for example, in Austria, that turn 1, you're allowed to ride the curbs as
Dus
much
kom wel
as you
goed, kom wel goed.
want.
Ik heb één warning, maar echt boos. Onder safety car heb ik gewoon maar rechtdoor in een bocht. Echt niet eens gas aan het geven, oh warning, pataat.
They're not.
Echt heel
Oh, dat
boos.
is nog een lap, hè. Gaat mega lang duren, die safety
Everyone does
cars.
it, so it's fair.
Ik weet dat
Ja,
niet.
maar echt.
And I mean, I think
Ze
that
wachten niet op
if they
iedereen
want
hè,
to
in de
improve
safety
it,
car.
I
Jawel.
personally would be fine with them.
Dat is niet waar,
having
ze
the-
wachten niet op
the
iedereen.
license- the
Te veel
right
laps
line as
duurt.
faster track limits for quali.
Nou wel, nu is het al de tweede lap toch?
Since that would make quali like.
Wel, is nog te kort.
Yeah, keep it
Nou wel,
difficult.
ik denk niet dat we op die andere, als ik denk niet
but
op Lofter
fair,
race
but
of
then
wie
in
dat
the
er als
race,
laatste
I
uit.
don't
Ah,
think
Philip.
it's fair having the track limits.
I-
It is
Ik ga erop kijken, pas op, ik zit in race director, ik zeg het u maar. hè.
We gaan er nu nog in de pit voor idioot.
Oh, but you've taken that pit stop now. That's not the right time.
Dat is dom, dat is dom.
You want to take a pit stop. You don't want to
Maar ik kan zot veel tijd verliezen, hè.
You're gonna go to like last place here.
Ja,
Zit
ik denk
jij
dat-
op?
What I was saying,
Ja.
you know,
Ah ja.
in quality.
Oh, putain!
Okay,
Fuck you,
sure. Oh, but look, sabotage. Under safety car. He's crashed under safety
Bre, die
car.
mannen, echt,
He's
jongen,
got
de
that
A-klasse
P12
is
on
op
the
zich
front
nog
wing. That
proper.
McLaren is gone.
Al zijn
And
weer
so
alle
are
points.
the tires.
We zitten in de points, Kevin.
For the pits
Ja, het is
again. So sabotage has
Dat is
thrown
gemakkelijk.
away.
Ja, daar gaan we niet op wachten. Pas op, ik ben even aan mijn neus aan het krabben.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
did a Grosjean. He's thrown away
It's quite
that
interesting.
podium.
Wat een dommerik naast.
It's interesting. I want to see
Je
what
crasht
happens
niet.
to
Allee, hoe
Sandra
kun je hier nu
if there's
crashen?
replay. Since
Goeie vraag.
I mean, under safety car, you don't really need to push it at all.
Well, I
Ja.
think he did
Zit
exactly
jij als eerste? Nee, hè?
What
Ikke? Nee.
Ja?
Grosjean did.
Ja, gebokst, ja, hè?
Getting too much
Ja.
heat to those
Hoe zit
tires.
dat
Bam,
met
ja,
de
kerel.
penalties
Too
vooraan?
little heat to those tires, trying to warm them up, and you just lose.
Alleen die
the
voor mij heeft 5 seconden, de rest zie ik.
He got hit by.
Maar ja, dat wordt ook sowieso in de pits
I
gedaan.
think Ericsson did.
Kieken zou beter nu gepit hebben
I
dan.
mean, in this case, Lord Raptor was by himself. Yeah, probably hit. I don't know.
Zit jij op? Wie zit op waar?
Honestly, I want
mediums.
sabotage to report Lord
Het is
Rask.
te hopen dat het een trage restart is. Die man op hun hard kan dan
Ik was aan het twijfelen tussen medium of hards. Dat de hards
nooit
waarschijnlijk tot
hard.
het einde zullen gaan, maar
maar
hards zijn echt slechte tires hier. Plus het gaat regenen
Honestly, that was a
normaal.
hilarious incident.
Ik hoop dat het regent, hè, want anders heb ik
een
niet kwam.
crossover point komt met hard
I
zijn
think it sums up Grosjean pretty well. I mean,
Wat hè?
he's
Want
quick,
met hard
but
zijn tot
Ja, je rijdt easy weg.
Pas op hè, pas op hè.
he kind of messed us up.
Hey, boy, die Kubbert, kan die wel opschuiven? Die zit er 3 jaar af.
Like, it was just kind of dumb.
He's back to racing, so.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's really nice. I thought it was kind of sad
Kijk,
that he
het op
couldn't
90
do
graden.
Dhabi, or like actually finish his F1 career like in style.
Maar ze, kijk, nu gaan ze nog massas vertragen. Ze gaan sowieso vertragen, want ze zitten veel te dicht bij de safety
I
car.
think it was Mercedes that offered
gaan allemaal
him,
opgevallen
like,
worden.
to test drive for them when it was time for preseason.
I know. I mean, Mercedes are like that. They're not
Ik
gonna.
denk dat...
I
Ah,
think
kijk,
they
op, pas op, pas op.
definitely realize the legacy that Grosjean has. Yeah, sure, he might not be the fastest driver, but on his day, I mean, he has what, like 10 podiums to his name or something. He's not a slow driver. It's just that Haas is just trash, honestly.
Could have had a win also.
Check die kerel voor me, die is bijna traag.
10-11, something like that.
But
being paired with
sorry to
Killian,
interrupt
just
you.
got
We're
old.
back to green
Oh,
flag
what a
racing.
dive,
Emma's
kerel,
around
let's
the
go.
outside of Johnny into turn 1. You know, he's the Mr. Consistent.
Niet agressief hè, Robbe.
But yeah, wasn't able to
Thanks
make up
for
that
the
place.
hope
He's
that
still
50%
in
over
P2 in this Grand Prix. But looking
Oh,
for
pas op, ik
P1
heb
as
hem, want
Lord
die gaat hier heel
Raptor
traag.
has, you know, he hasn't gotten many points.
Yep,
to his
ze gaan
name.
hier echt
Look where
traag.
He's sitting in the podium position. Sure, he has a penalty, but Nova has a penalty behind him. His teammate Adam has a penalty behind him. And Racing Point are currently sitting dead last in the championship. If they can get P3 and P5 in this race, possibly, that's
Oof,
gonna be
my.
huge for them. And likewise for Mercedes, P1 and P4. And now P3
Amai, die
as an
turnt
overpass
gewoon
pass
in op
for
mij.
guys.
Waarom
turnt hij in op mij?
Sabotage is 21
Hey, dat was mijn fout, niet gezegd dat die gast rijdt gewoon tegen mij.
Eerst moet ik gewoon enforcen het. Allee jongen, scale.
Die rijdt mij gewoon, waarom doet hij dat?
Ah, dan moet ik weer binnen, gast. Wat moet ik doen? Allee, what the fuck?
But they're coming three wide into that
What the
left hander,
fuck?
but Jordy is almost spun round on the back of Phil, but look at Love to Race. Love to Race is in P6 in this Grand Prix. So after starting in almost dead last, well he was dead last before Adam joined, and Adam's now up into P5. Love to Race is in P6, so this could be some
Bre, mijn notto is grap naar de kloot, hè?
catapult him even farther up the
Dat
channel.
doen we
deed hij
wel.
al van Mori, B?
They're in P13 and P14. That's currently 0.
Oh.
Jordy is letting by Mr. Unicorn, but
Doe
there's
die
a huge
penalty
crash
nu.
for Ethan. He's off track, collided with Phil in
Nee!
turn 14. And
Jawel,
he's
jawel,
off
dat gaat
track.
nog tellen.
Sabotage is
Telt dat
coming,
niet?
and
Maar
another
het telt niet bij
safety
mij, ik ga,
car has
ik ga
been
gewoon nieuwe
brought out.
banden krijgen in plaats van die penalty te surfen.
Zeker?
Nee, onder safety car kun je dat niet
I mean,
doen.
what sucks for the Williams is they're
Maar ja, hij was
so
al
far
binnen,
back.
hè.
Fuck off! Ik ga gewoon mijn drive-thru doen.
Push up and, like, gain those positions.
Nu heb ik gewoon
They just
weer
gain a
nieuwe
lot of
mediums.
points
Wat is het nu
on
daar?
on Alfa Romeo today in the championship. Since, I mean, they're not racing
Eén
anymore.
voordeel,
There's
ik kan nu
not
verder
Alfa
geraken
Romeo
met mijn
that's racing
mediums.
Hoezo? Alsjeblieft word ik nog gedisqualified omdat ik die drive...
Let's ask him what happened, alright?
anymore. Let's go.
Alright.
P, ik kwam een drive-thru doen. Echt waar, wat een shitshow. Kun die race die gewoon opnieuw beginnen?
I
Gast, dat het
we
een
saw
Monza
some of it,
vorige
but
vorige
take us
keer niet
through
meegaan zeker?
what you saw.
Amai,
Ah,
dat
echt
was
waar,
nog
die mannen kunnen hier niet rijden.
An AlphaTauri,
Ik kan gewoon mijn drive-thru surfen, mag ook al niet.
and I was on the outside. I got pushed outside, and I lost grip, spun, and I got hit.
So he hit
Ik
you.
heb ook veel te veel fuel nu.
No, he just pushed me really wide, and I lost grip. He snapped
Wat
over
doet
his
die
steering.
neuromancer?
Yeah.
Mocht mij niet inhalen.
I have recorded my POV.
Yeah, then you're good.
Het is vroeg om op soft te gaan, hè. Het is te vroeg, hè.
Ja.
Ja, veel te vroeg.
On F1 2020 versus ACC.
Ja, ik ga op soft
Nee, nee, nee,
gaan,
nee,
want
nee.
dan,
Rain focus in 10
Uh,
minuten tijd.
F1, it's weird
Wacht.
because
Maar ja, ik moet denken,
they go on
met
your
die
side.
safety cars zijn wij veel tijd aan het verliezen. Hè. We gaan niet meer op het einde van de race zijn.
So do you think Williams might be a significant threat to you guys up there in P1 in the Drivers' Championship?
Maar wat doet die neuromancer?
Yeah.
Not at all. Well, I mean, at this rate, maybe if we don't get our game together.
Maar wat doet die
But
neuromancer?
as soon as we start not crashing.
Maar allee, ik heb al 2 keer 5 seconden gehad. Ik rijd 80 per uur.
Nee, ik ken een drive-thru.
Ja, dat is ook wel
Well,
kut.
I guess I shouldn't really be talking
Wat?
to you, but I don't know.
Neuromancer
En
heeft
ik
me
juist-
ingehaald en je krijgt geen penalty
And it
daarvoor.
looks like
What?
Amex, who's in P9 at the moment, though, he is the only person possible to challenge Maldonado for the championship.
Bre, als we deze nog kunnen winnen met een van ons 3, nice.
It's
Maar,
close though.
Ik zei
He
dat
has
je
fucking hell.
all like.
Ja, je wilt net meer
actually,
kansen dan
that was
mij. Ik ben
Maldonado
gefuckt door die
won
drive-thru en al die
races,
safety
so I
cars.
guess if he doesn't, Amex
Had die
has to win
safety
the next
car niet
race.
gekomen, hè?
Hey,
Na het begin was
Neuromancer,
die
how the
echt
fuck did you
gewonnen.
get past me without penalty?
Well, I don't think that.
ik denk niet dat je in game aan het praten bent,
Nee.
Kevin. Ik heb je al eens niet gehoord.
Kun jij dat gezegd in hem?
Oké.
On and off lately, so.
Hey Neuromancer, how did you get past Bulbasaur without a penalty? By the way, Pato, why did you bump me off the track and love the race you turned in on Mr. Unicorn? Nice.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Love to race.
Kun je dat je dat gehoord
I
hebt?
think he was in P4.
Ja.
Oké, cool.
He's now down in P11, but he took a pit stop, so he doesn't have to take any more left. He was in P6, P5,
Ik
P4.
ga op de softe kijk
And
gewoon.
he's on the hard
Dat is
tires,
zo
so
aanvallend
he's
rijden,
probably
kerel.
going to the end.
Yeah, I want to see him get a point.
Yeah, of course.
Didn't he get points last
Ik heb ook geen softs meer over, blijkbaar.
More points is the better, I'm assuming.
Oké, use softs, maar het is maar 4% of zo.
Ja, dat heb ik, ja.
See.
Ik heb ook used softs, maar ik wil
yeah, just
zeggen
speaking
nieuwe.
with you, look at the grid order. We got
ken nog nieuwe
a
softs,
Mercedes
ja.
1-2 and a Racing Point 3-4. So Racing Point, I mean, Lord Raptor
Ik zweer het, gast. Die Nova die wint hier niet, hè. Al moet ik hem van de baan rijden, hè.
Apart from that, like Lord Raptorgus, apart from Italy, where actually I'm not sure if he scored points. Did he score points in Italy?
I don't know, I didn't follow Italy.
No, he did not. So Lord Raptorgus has not scored points in Italy. Adam
Dat is nog wel
actually
lap, godverdomme.
Ja,
in
dat is
Italy.
alleen.
But Lord Raptorgus
heb veel te veel
has
fuel
never
ook
gotten a
al.
point here in FPR.
Ja, 3. Ik zeg, ik pak 1 lap, overschot, want ik weet dat het gaat regenen op het einde.
Like, it was in what, Hungary qualifying, I think, where it was like a Mercedes 1, 2, 3, 4. Effectively, since the racing point is the, I mean, pink Mercedes are now, I guess, like
Green
blue,
Mercedes.
green Mercedes. But that's the market.
But yeah, Adam, before this race, has only gotten 2 points finishes, a 10th and a 6th. So Alpha Racing Point have 9 points to their name. But look, a P3 and a P4, that's 28 points. That's more than a win. You know how much that would mean to them? I mean, it would only make them up 1 point, and they definitely still take a pit stop. So I'm
Gasten, als
really
ik
interested to see how the top 4 in this race will do,
Okay.
as everyone
Yeah,
else
sorry.
actually
Well,
no one
that's
has taken a
different.
pit stop. I
Als
actually
ik-
didn't notice that.
Ooit zou
And has
kunnen
Johnny
leiden,
also?
zou
Let
ik
me,
wel
let me take a look.
dan geen snelste ronde willen zetten, alsjeblieft. Ik
No.
wil
He hasn't yet.
Dank u.
So-
It's not called soft,
Yeah.
so he hasn't.
So
Wat?
Johnny, Lord Raptor, Gus, and Adam,
Niks.
the only drivers not to have taken
Als,
a
als
pit
je
stop.
ooit zou leiden, dus als jij op eerste rijdt, wil je de snelste ronde ook, of wat?
Ja.
Wat Gierig?
Wie er nu de snelste ronde misschien?
I don't know.
Ik,
if
hè?
for the pit stop, he might be.
Mijn 34-9.
Dat is nog snel voor de race.
Mijn is nu 38,
There's
3
plenty
en
of
nog
time
geen
left in this race.
clean
You
lap
guys
kunnen
pitted for
rijden.
the soft tires.
Ja, ik druk echt constant
This
achter
safety car,
debiel.
you're all going to be bunched up. I'm sure, Jordy, you know, you're in P13 at the moment. In 1 lap, you're probably going to be P5 or something. Like,
I mean,
honestly.
Jordy is and he's really quick, so I mean, let's hope he does an amazing recovery drive like he did. Like, yeah, like what it was half an hour ago in 8, no, it's even more like that, in 8 hours. And
Mannetjes,
I mean,
als je
he's gonna show his
pas
pace
op.
here. I think we're gonna be in for some incredible racing from Jordy.
But as we're saying that, we just got confirmation from race control that the safety car is coming in this lap. Johnny will be leading them away, and he's actually
Mijn ballen
the
zijn koud.
Mercedes team look to have been playing a little bit of a team game.
Ja, die pas op, want die gaan gewoon elkaar laten rijden bij de start. hè.
Maybe Nova says, I'll just hold them up a tiny bit, and you can just get on with them. But the safety car is still, and he has to stay behind them, and he's going to start bunching up the field. As it looks like Neuromancer is.
Philip, back off.
That's been a great drive from him.
Jesus
so
fucking
far. I
Christ,
think
Kev. Die hangen hier in mijn hatten boven.
11 something? I don't know.
You might have, I think you can you see the starting positions in
No.
the respective night?
Unfortunately,
I mean, you could probably just do calculation here, but
Ah, die neuromancer heeft
Oh, die great start, yeah.
zwaar start gedaan.
and Sabotage instantly gets that time penalty, but coming up to turn 1, they're all getting through cleanly as we would expect under a safety car restart. Bulbasaur, though, cutting the chicane a little bit. It looks like Left to Race
turn
has
1,
gone
2
back,
man
and what
gepakt,
has happened
kerel.
to Left to Race back here? Left to Race is backwards and has hit the wall, and the tires are, well, he's still in this Grand Prix, but the front of that car is off.
Robbe, ik zit achter je op soft. Sledding, you know.
Ja, ik ga je niet hier voorbij laten.
No,
hè.
I
Allee.
feel
Nee, ik zeg het u maar.
what has happened, so unfortunate for Love to Race. He's had to cut that corner slightly and not going to be
Op
able to stop the
Penny.
car coming
Oké,
right
ging mij
here
inboxen.
in COTA.
Maar die gaat traag.
But up farther up the grid, Amundsen and Pato, it's now a Red Bull 7-8.
Ja, die is toch aan het deployen, die Red Bull. Die Red Bull is aan het deployen,
Ja,
kijk
dat
gewoon.
moet ook deployen. Die andere is ook bezig.
This unicorn might go down the inside of his teammate, Jordy, into turn 11. Let's see. He has actually made that pass before the turn. Jordy coming around the outside again.
Doe maar.
There's no team orders being pulled out at Williams. It looks like Jordy's on the faster tire. The softs versus the mediums now coming
Zeg jij dat?
into that turn 12. The
Ik ben niks aan het
technical
doen.
third sector here at COTA. Mr. Unicorn, Jordy, Amundsen, we're having basically a checkerboard
Oh, ik ga
pattern. Well, not really
langs de
checkerboard,
buitenkant van die
Noah's Ark.
Neuromans. Let's go.
Ik ga mijn drive-thru doen, hè. Dus niet langs beneden gaan op die laatste bocht.
Then we got 2 Red Bulls, 2 Williams, and then at the back 2 Alpha Tauris. But look at that, Mr. Unicorn is coming into the pits yet again. Does he have front wing damage? He possibly could.
Als ze mij nu banden geven, flip ik echt.
Sabotage up into the points again on the medium tires, and Nova is still leading them away, but he has overtaken his teammate into that turn 1, and Nova, who, well, people were complaining about him driving a bit dirty in the A-Class race, is now up into P1 and has that P1 secured with Lord Raptorgus catching up to Adam. So as Adam's tires started to go off, has Lord Raptorgus been able to keep the tire wear under control? He's Sergio Perez at the moment, at least. As Adam slightly farther back behind them, but still within that DRS, well actually slightly off that DRS range, 1.2 seconds back. But farther back here, it looks, yeah, as you were saying something?
Yeah, and I mean now Bulbasaur's looking right at the gearbox of Adam here. It's gonna be interesting.
What the fuck, if you pull that shit one more time, I'll fucking crash you out, mate.
It's too wide between Amundsen and Pato. Neither of them have DRS, interestingly.
Maar P, zijn er nu fucking serieus?
Now braking.
What?
Pato's on the off the track pretty much.
De neterband, hè. Echt waar,
Like
jongen.
a Bulbasaur
Debiel.
went for the move on Adam there.
And
Up the
Jordy
inside into the...
also on
I
Pato.
mean,
Ethan, is this karting? Is that why you won't be able to make it? Or something like that? I heard you talking about that.
Echt pieken, serieus? Alleen maar gewoon van de baan duwen.
But here comes Jordy, Mr. Unicorn, Amits, everyone around the track. And, you know, we're still having a great... Actually, that's why we don't have DRS, because it wasn't enabled. We haven't had 3 laps under green yet. But only 1/10 between Jordy and Amits. He could make the move down the inside, or around the outside possibly to turn 1. Doesn't quite make it past, though. He was able to brake a little bit later. Okay, Ethan, yeah, I see. That definitely makes sense. But on the soft tires, he's getting a better traction off the line, and he has gotten past Amits into the S section. But he's already on the back of Neuromancers, as I was saying. Yeah, sure, it's unfortunate that you had to come take that extra pit stop, get that front wing replaced, but the world is not ended. You're already almost up into P6 and P5, but look at Bulbasaur, he's up into P4. So, you know, Jordy still has a great chance at getting a podium here, as pretty much everyone ahead of him, bar possibly Neuromancer, will have to take another pit stop. Neuromancer is letting Jordy by, as you know, he says, I'm on the hard tires. It's not really worth fighting. He's going to have to take another pit stop. As Jordy is now on the back of Adam, and with DRS down the inside of Adam, he's already made that move past before the turn 11 section.
But it's up to the sky, it's starting to get a bit cloudy. Does this mean that the rain is coming?
Possibly. I mean, the forecast said not yet, but we know how wrong that can be. But it's like 3 wide back here. Everyone's still so bunched up, except for Mr. Unicorn still back there. You know, Philp and Impato and Sabotage has made that double pass past Philp and Impato, and Cuthbert is looking to get into the points as well. He's in P12 at the moment. But coming around the Turkey Turn 8 clone, and Cuthbert is around Impato. So what's happened to the Red Bull driver? Does he have damage on the front side of that front wing? And let me take a look at it.
Putain, gast, dat is direct
Actually, no, it doesn't.
een veel te ingewikkelde race.
Yeah,
Although it didn't look like Bulbasaur had any front wing damage, and then he went into front, changed the front wing. As Amit goes past Neuromonster up to P6.
And Jordy up into P4 as well, with Bulbasaur. He's now chasing down Bulbasaur. 1.5 seconds up the road, but Bulbasaur is just on the back of Johnny. So what's happened to the pace of Johnny? He was leading this race at one point, but now those soft tires, I'm sure they're starting to go off, and he might have to come take his pit stop. maybe for the mediums if he thinks he can stretch them out, or if the rain will come soon, or possibly even for the hards. You know, COTA, the laps are pretty long here. That's why we have 28, only 28 laps. But Bulbasaur to the left and right on the back of Johnny now. 1/10 separate the two of them, as now Bulbasaur gets that DRS and is past Johnny on the straight. The straight line speed of that Ferrari with DRS.
No,
Jordy just went past as well.
Just as well. So Jordy being able
Ik ga je voorbij laten, want dat was dirty van mij, sorry.
I know.
Maar jij remt veel te vroeg, kerel, what the
Bulbasaur
fuck?
has gotten by, but Jordy, you can just see how much
Sorry, Kevin.
could have been his setup, could have been that he's playing on a controller. We can't really know, but Jordy is just able to break that much later than Bulbasaur and Johnny, and he was able to make that.
Okay,
well, it was actually a decent dive bomb along all of them. I mean, it was pretty much as big as you could go. We're still staying pretty safe, but Jordy's up into P3. Johnny is starting to fall back. Nova, though, is still leading them away, but he's only a little bit up the road.
Hij is een exit gebutcherd, kerel.
Unfortunately, still in P13.
Hij
heeft al 6 seconden. Dit is voor je, Kevin, deze victory.
I think
Mag ik
it was
passeren?
possibly a worse
Of,
exit
ja,
for Jordy. I mean, it's harder to follow through that last section with dirty air. You're going to have that reduced as Ethan joining and leaving the session. I mean, he's already retired. It's probably just for commentating. But let me just say, tomorrow's race in ACC, that's going to be a fun one. Are you racing in there? I would think so, right?
I think I'm racing, yeah.
Awesome.
Hij zit in zijn DRS, hè?
Barcelona, which is an F1 track, but let's just say pretty bad F1 track, pretty good GT track. At least
have you seen the calendar? They have put Portimao back on the calendar, which I think personally it's Barcelona but good.
Yes, I agree. I think exactly how you said, Portimao is just better Barcelona. I mean, but right now we have both Barcelona and Portimao, but Bulbasaur looking for that dive bomb on the inside and Nova pushing.
Oh, putain, die breekt zich dan gewoon.
The corner though, but they're 3 wide, and that could have been a little bit of damage for Jordy. I know
Dat was toch veel te neig op zijn frein.
Going 3 wide through this turn 12, turn 13 section. It's a Mercedes from a Ferrari.
What the fuck, kerel? Was het erin te break checken?
Pace along with Jordy. Nova having just a little bit less, but it's still quite close for the top here. Let's see. Samuel, I hope Steam replies to me quick so I can make the ACC race. Yeah, I definitely hope that happens as well. Did you hear what happened to Samuel?
Hallo?
Yes.
Hallo?
Ja, nee. Breed touw, jongen, wat er hier allemaal al gebeurd is. Waarom friend iedereen zo vroeg?
Ja, omdat hij mij ging diven.
But I mean, Samuel, didn't you have two-factor authentication or something?
Oh.
I don't understand how accounts get stolen, but I mean...
I think what happened was he gave the other person the confirmation code. I'm not 100% sure. I think we could talk to Samuel about this, but right now, let's get back to the action. Bulbasaur made the switch back of Dreams on Nova, and so has Jordy. Jordy's up into P2. Nova has fallen down to P3. He's lost 2 positions. Look at how close everyone still is. Except for Love Trace, he's about a minute behind the rest of them. He's already taken, I think, 4 pit stops in this Grand Prix, and it looks like if 4 people don't retire, he might not be getting points in this race, which is so unfortunate for his career. But still, a 3-4 finish for Mercedes is still going to be good points for them. But Jordy and Bulbasaur, 1/10 between them. Jordy's going to go for a look down the inside, and he does make it through. But Bulbasaur trying to break late was not able to make it through. But the switchback, he's attempting that, going into turn 12, and he can't make that through. He's letting Jordy keep that place. But Jordy locking up on the front left. Could those soft tires at 6 laps old already starting to be going off? Amit's up into P6 as Lord Raptorgus up into P4. Lord Raptorgus still has a mega chance of getting at first, well, the first points here, and that could be a first podium possibly. So he could be a George Russell, you know, not getting points for the first 9 races, and then the 10th race, oh, let's get a podium. But as you were saying, the sky is starting to darken. Could we be getting the rain very soon here? Is certainly possible. Bulbasaur with DRS, but Jordy is able to keep that lead out in front. It's still a 3-horse battle at the front.
Yeah, let's see Jordy. I mean, in the A-Class race it didn't really use the ERS, and I mean, it looks like he's really managing it pretty well. He's done 36% currently. Bulbasaur is done 30%. And Noah's on 70% almost, so Noah has definitely edge here in terms of ERS. I don't know how much you can't really see that, but it's interesting since TTO Jordy, he's staying in front somehow without using his ERS.
I think that might just be the superior exit speed. I think he's definitely the best driver we have, at least with traction. But look at Johnny. You can just see how those 15-lap old softs, that's really not what you want to be on at this point in the race. Those 15-lap old softs are starting to go off completely, and he's falling back. Lord Raptor goes on the same, basically the same tires. And yeah, the traction is just impossible on those old tires as Amos has made it through and up into P4. So as we were seeing, consistency prevails, and he was, he wasn't even in the points at one point in this Grand Prix after taking a pit stop, but now he's up into P4 and chasing down P3, possibly even P2. I mean, if you catch P3, you have a chance of getting that win because they're so close to each other up in front. Only 7 tenths, 6 tenths separate the top three.
If admits even could just gain a few
Ja, het is beginnen regenen.
into the podium position since
Yep.
he's got 6 seconds more penalties. Now we'll get more 6 seconds more penalties than.
You know what I see? The first drops
Was het de Gerobbe?
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be
Just voor de
interesting.
pits, moet ik erin gaan?
Ik weet niet.
Get the advantages from the.
Nee, erin lap.
Yeah, Lord Raptor goes into the pits.
Exactly, as I was saying, these drivers with those 15-lap old softs, when they pit on the first safety car, well, Johnny's choosing to stay out, but we'll see how Lord Raptor, Gus, Cuthbert, Phil, and Adam, those 4 drivers are coming into the pit lane.
Oh, it's gonna have to go for Adam, who's gonna have to double stack behind Lord Raptor.
So Sabotage in for the intermediate tires.
Bad stop from Racing Point. They're not changing his tires to round 20.
They were not ready. He might have not made the call, and so that's gonna that's so unfortunate for Adam. Look at how much time he's losing. They're barely just getting to that car right now, and look at how much time he's probably going to lose. Probably an extra 10-15 seconds just in the pit lane from there. Love to Race is still in the back. He's going to have to take another pit stop though, as the rain is already completely here. So what have the top drivers chosen to do? It looks like Mr. Unicorn up into P6. He's made the most of that flip-flopping, but the bottom 5, it looks like most people.
Bullshit. Kom aan, jongen.
Yeah.
Warning.
It's interesting because I think Mr. Unicorn, he would have had a chance to go in if he'd made the call quick enough, but he didn't. And I think this is actually going to benefit Sabotage here, since he is the one that got the best pit stop out of this, and he's going to gain so much time now from the new inters.
Well, I'm not looking at the lap times, but if you could take a look at the lap times that these drivers are setting, I want to see the intermediate tires versus those soft tires, possibly for Jordy even. Like, if Sabotage on intermediate tires...
Kom aan, jongen!
Medium, old, soft tires, that is really showing you that the soft tires are not the tires to be on, but as we can see, there is everyone coming in, so it looks like...
kom aan.
Well, they would have rather come
Ik krijg hier warnings en penalties dat totaal niet gesurfd zijn.
Neuromancer also coming in. Mr.
Ja, Robbe, ik ben ook binnen, hè.
Cuthbert.
Maar tegen een Gerrig zit.
Nee.
2 banden al?
Wing nodig. Ik heb een wing nodig.
At least sector 2, which is what's the, most fair one I would say.
Well, I think
Godverdomme, Jordi.
I think so, definitely.
Maar ja, als dat is echt zo'n... Ik heb 2 keer een penalty gehad omdat ik 80 per uur rijd. Doe normaal. Dat is totaal niet... Ik had echt gewoon weg moeten zijn van iedereen.
Oké, ik ben 8e, zo van nu. Ah, 9e waarschijnlijk.
Kind of held in the pits a bit, or maybe just took a pause.
Sabotage locking up on the both front tires, but as you were saying, he's gained places. Yeah, he's up into P7, but could he thought maybe I should have gotten more? But look, the rain is actually pretty heavy here. Could we possibly? I mean, we still have 10 laps to go in this race. 10 laps is not 5 minutes, so. Sure, the weather forecast was a bit more accurate, but it wasn't super accurate. Could we possibly even get to wet conditions here? I mean, it's possible.
That would be really interesting. Imagine we have like a full wet end of the race that can make the strategy that some people.
Ja, kom aan, safety car, IB.
I mean, side pitch, and it could be a really chaotic end to this race.
Ja, Nova had 12 seconden, dat boeit echt al niet meer.
Down at the back, he still hasn't taken his pit stop to change onto tires, but there's actually is that Love? No, that's Philip. But Love to Race is now coming into the pits, and he's probably putting on intermediate tires, if not wet tires. I mean, he could think, oh, maybe I should just gamble for the wets if I think the rain's going to get harder. Maybe he asked Jeff, and Jeff said, you know, we're expecting heavy rain in 5 minutes. Could he just choose, oh, I'm going to lose maybe a second a lap on the wet tires? No, he's choosing to put on the intermediate tires just like everyone else. But the crew wasn't ready for him. He didn't make the call. And so he's lost a few seconds in the pits.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with like what happened with the Williams, that the crew wasn't just ready. And I mean, do you have to actually make the call for the pit crew to be out and ready? I don't think you do need to do that.
Kerel, iemand heeft ghosting niet
I
opgezet.
don't know how the pit system works in this game.
It's
What do you mean, dat is nooit hier? Wat moet je dan doen met
I
backmarkers?
have no idea how it
FPR
works.
nooit.
I feel like it's a bit inconsistent though. Although,
Oh, wow,
the
wat een
rain is
oversteer
here,
had.
it's here to stay, but the rain is coming down heavily. So, well, yeah, I bless the
This
rains
looks
down
like
in
it
COTA,
could be
gonna take
destination.
the time to spin the rains we never had. Oh no.
I mean, it could definitely be wet, full wet conditions, so
Gargars, please
definitely
don't
look
make the Africa reference. We don't need that one. But yeah. Yeah, Ethan, I mean, if you hadn't DNF'd, you could have gotten a podium here. If you made the right call with these intermediate tires, like look what Sabotage did. He made up probably 15 seconds on those soft runners, because you know he didn't have to double stack. He took that pit stop a little bit earlier, and that gamble is paying off. He's gonna get another points finish here, and well, love to race 1 minute and 19 seconds. Unfortunately, back from the rest of them. Yeah, Ethan, you could have definitely gotten first. I mean, if Bulbasaur and Jordy are up there, yeah, definitely. But Mr. Unicorn up into P8 now, and he's on the charge to the rest of them. But maybe he doesn't have the best pace in the wet. It's hard to say.
yeah, and Groger's also answering my question. Yeah, you need to call the pit crew. Yeah, if you're not in the pit when else they won't come out. I mean, I think it also depends on. I think Williams is so far back in the pit that it could at some tracks. I mean, like it definitely Silverstone. It could work that you just when going into the pits that the crew gets ready, like without you pressing the unboxing this lap button.
That's true.
I think that was race spinning up again.
Yeah, that was love to race, as you said. Yeah, he's off. But I mean, that kind of shows if love to race can't keep it on track. Does that mean that wet tires are the way to go? Look at the conditions here.
Maybe just let's see if he pits for the wets. He went into the pits right. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, he did get front wing damage, so that's certainly a cause. But
Let's see what the pit crew puts him on. I mean, it really looks right. I don't think it looks quite good enough for wets right now, but
no,
it could
he's putting on
definitely be a strategy call to put him on it. And yeah, it goes in for him.
yeah, I know, Ethan. It's my home track as well. Oh right, every track in North America, you got DNF'd or severe damage. Wow. And like every other race you finished, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what happened? That he didn't in Italy. He just DNF'd every
I
Italy
know.
race.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's so odd how it was always Italy also. I mean, Imola, he got a puncture. Right, I mean,
No,
I thought he could have won there.
That was, yeah, he could have won. Well, he I don't know.
Might
That was
could
a
have won.
tough call. Wait, was him spinning the called out the safety car?
I think so. Yeah, because
Then
it was
he
caught
could
in the
have
gravel trap
Yeah.
right after the break.
Because the only reason Hamilton won was because there was a safety car. Well,
Correct.
yeah, that's debatable. But
I mean, I think Imola
That-
was definitely nice since Hamilton won, and then we had Ricciardo giving him the series. So I mean, let's just say if Max wouldn't have DNF, then Hamilton wouldn't have done the series.
yeah, that was
So
actually
I mean,
really
it was
cool.
By the way, Jordi, good luck maneuver.
Boy.
Yeah, sprays and
Ja, we
being
hadden
picked up, so
baak
maybe
nou, hè,
inters.
man.
Yeah, although I would like to say, I don't know if the game puts as much sprays.
Ah, weer is die direct wel een slechter antwoord, hè, kerel.
Whatever the full maxed out settings are. But
Dat is weer echt slecht antwoorden.
Allee.
quality as the drivers are seeing. But
And
oh
Van
no,
idiot.
Johnny's off, and Mr. Unicorn's off as well. But Johnny, oh no,
The
what is
fuck
happening
did he,
to him?
Johnny?
I think he just missed his braking point, got onto the wet side of the track, and took Mr. Unicorn with him. But I don't think damage to either of, well, probably damage to Johnny. Actually, no damage to Johnny.
Yeah,
it looks like.
looks like the rain is dumping in the midst here, since he, Mr. Consistency, like you said, he's adapting to these conditions really well, and he's just gaining a huge amounts of time against Jordi and Nova. I mean, he was 7 seconds back on Jordi before, and now he's 4 seconds back. Also being into the podium positions here, but Nova having 12 seconds penalties.
No, I mean, you were saying, oh, it looks
Die
unlikely
banden
he
zijn
managed
echt
to win this
slecht,
race,
jong.
but- Well, look at it right now. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, P2 or even P1, yeah, it could be definitely possible. depending on the penalties, though, I think it's gonna be pretty hard to pass. Like once you're in right conditions, it's gonna be really difficult.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. I mean, you're probably going to have to go for that, outside, inside overtake, possibly into turn 11. That section, probably on the main straight, is going to be your best place because you're, or turn 1. I mean, overtaking through the S is just going to be impossible in the rain, pretty much. But the rain is. I mean.
I think.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead.
Let's see. Grogger says if you're struggling to grip, try going lean through the corners. Less power means a bit more grip. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that less power. I think it's not that less power means a bit more grip. It's that if you put power down, it's going to spin up the wheels, so you're going to have less grip.
And when you have lean mix, you do get less power active to the engine, because you're not fueling it as much. And it's nice to have. It's kind of a traction control in a way, going into lean revs when it's wet.
Well, you could also be running with traction. You could also just be playing with traction control, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think most people are playing with traction control, since I would say playing with traction control isn't too good, since you lose so much time off it. Here in F1, since it isn't in F1, and the traction control...
Godverdomme! Welke hond moet er nu weer safety car uitbrengen?
Yeah, but do you notice
Yes!
Look at his tires. They're wet.
Wait.
Is het de moeite? Of niet?
Nee, ik kan niet testen, hè. Ik kan niet testen. Het is safety car. Ik weet niet, het is zo... Ik denk dat intermediates altijd iets sneller gaan zijn.
Off as well, but no, this is what I'm saying. Isn't this the worst time to pit because you're just under safety car? Like, won't Bulbasaur get the best spot? Right? Because he loses less time under safety car?
Yeah, maybe, but we don't know if he's gonna pit. Let's see if he pits. I don't think he is, since it's on brink of being wet conditions, I think. And he doesn't. It's just on the edge to being wet conditions as Lovetrace goes into pits.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You might be banking on those soft tires. I mean, wet tires.
Yeah, Lovetrace got a 5-second penalty for spinning.
Let me just say, really unfortunate for Lovetrace. I know he was really begging on it to be dry, but unfortunately the game decided, let's not have that happen. He does choose to go on the intermediate tires. But actually, as you were saying, Mr. Unicorn could have the edge over the rest of them, as the safety car is going to wait until they all bunch up, and if he can just continue his momentum out here and go faster, well, he's going to have the best pace, but he's going super slow right now.
Wie de fuck heeft daar
this could be a kind of Marcus foot,
Johnny.
Situation again.
Well, Sabotage and Cuthbert are coming into the pits, and they're putting on.
Yes, but that would indicate that it's actually time for wet tires, which that's going to definitely benefit all the people that went onto the rest now. It's interesting, since Amidst, I think he's benefited a lot from this, being able to like catch up to Nova, Bulbasaur, and kill Jordy. But this could also hurt him a lot.
Well,
I
interestingly,
don't know.
I think Cuthbert might have pit for damage because he came out on the inners as well. So, does he think it's not wet enough for wet conditions? I mean, or for wet tires?
Ik zijn 4,5 ronden plus.
Mr. Unicorn also has Sabotage. Yeah, okay, so Mr. Unicorn has Sabotage now on wet.
And left to right still
so is right, I think.
Left to right still out on the intermediate tires. But Grogger's saying, I think that's what I was talking about, where the safety car comes out if it's too wet. I mean, I don't know. Oh yeah, this ending is going to be definitely mad. Well, presuming we have like a few laps at least under.
Ja, de restart, dat gaat echt een nest worden peken.
Nee, mijn banden er aan het oververhitten.
Wat?
Ja, hoe kan dat?
Hoe doe je dat?
As I was saying from Nova's
Dat wil zeggen dat het te droog is, denk ik.
Dus je trekt keiveel op je banden.
Ja, het gewoon te droog is.
Te droog, joh, waarom? Ik zie bij
I
huis in de
know,
week.
maar ik bedoel te droog voor wedstrijd. Intermediates zal altijd het beste zijn.
Ja, jongen, het is gekozen, hè.
Yeah, that's gonna
Ah, niet afkomen.
Zeg toch niet dat... Ik gewoon dat dat verklaren.
really interesting, since it's hard to see your braking points, but you can't see anything. And imagine like trying to overtake them, that's also difficult. I think Bulbasaur...
Bre, what the fuck, wat een unclean. Moet je kijken op race direct naar mijn dingen en mijn rondes gaat. Wat een nest.
Possibly to cool down tires. I mean, I wouldn't think they would be very hot, but that's possible.
But that's one thing, I think... I hope for Codemasters to add more like spectator features, like...
Oh, de Nova bijna gecrashed, kerel. Jammer.
Seeing if you...
Nee, hij mag maar schoonlijk daar blijven. Schoon een
Also seeing
buffer.
the strategy for people, but I mean that would be kind of broken if you have spotters then in the global just spectating.
Schoon een buffer. Het schrik of wat?
Ja.
Wat denkt u nu hot
En nu weer, ah, jongen, Robbo, serieus.
Nee, die zijn aan het overbehitten.
Ah, echt? Zo nee?
Ja.
Zo raar, ik heb moeite om mijn ballen warm te houden. Piste niks.
This is not the
Misschien
right
helpt dat.
choice. Maybe I'll just go on to the intermediates again as no one else came in. But let's see what happens on a Williams picker. Yep.
No, that was very interesting.
Brei, wat is deze keer dan?
Gaat de safety car deze lap ingaan of
I think so.
volgende?
Well, this was
Dat
one
weet ik
big
niet,
call.
zijn vriendschap.
Let's come in,
De helft van het veld hangt er nog niet aan.
and get back in. We need a hard
Ik kan het
center
echt niet
support.
zeggen wat
I
er
wanna
hier aan
see
het gebeuren is,
who's
dat
not.
meen ik.
Yeah, that would be fun. I also wanna have a head tracking support for like VR players, so that in a replay I can see where they're looking. That would be useful for stewarding. Let's just say.
Have something like maybe visor cam, like you could have that as a feature, like you follow the visor.
You can get eye tracking.
Also, I think
Well, I know you can get eye tracking.
Pato
but,
is ook echt een vuile coureur,
if
als.
it's saved.
I also think that spectator cameras, like the ones we have here, could be a bit better. I mean,
They're terrible.
yeah, we have the offset one, and then we have the kind of the one that does whatever it wants. But here at COTA, I think it's absolute. It's not good at all.
En Kevin, wat zeg je?
Yeah, I mean, for ACC, for example, I don't just
Ah, dan
have,
is Robert Schans al, hè.
I just have TV pod and then like spectator mode or whatever it's called. I can pick like 2 different sets of cameras on the track, or I can pick a heli cam, or I can pick all different types of onboards. I can pick any view that the video can see, or any driver the driver can see.
Oh, I mean, de intermediate slechte voel.
Yeah, and it's actually smart. So if you're in helicam and you're on a driver in front, but there's a battle behind.
Ik ben gewoon weer op mijn banden aan het krijgen om ze warm te houden.
Focus on the battle instead of the driver that's not doing anything.
Allee, jongen, debiel.
And that's
Niet normaal.
And I mean that's what you want for the F1 game, since I mean the F1 game isn't the most like realistic in terms of driving, but I would say it's.
Ik hoop dat Nova nog een keer weer gaat in turn 1, dan kan ik het
simulating
kijken.
the F1 season that we have, since it looks so much like F1, but the cameras is the one thing
Dus
that.
eigenlijk is het gewoon een 3-lap race in de wet.
Ja, Nova is er weer kapot gereden!
Lol.
But look, front wing damage for Nova, and he's still in P3, but there's front wing damage on the right side of that. He collided.
Oh, je hebt niks van penalty gehad daarvoor, Kevin.
Overtaking Jordy under safety car. Wait, actually, was he ahead of Jordy? Yeah, he was. Okay. So I guess
Hoeveel
Jordy
zijn jullie nu?
1-3. Kevin 1.
Nice.
Thermal cams.
Good down.
That was cool actually. I
Jij
don't know
gaat
if you've seen
shortjes
that.
achter mij blijven, weet je dat?
They had a
I
cam.
have not seen that.
Mijn
They had
best
a
doen.
I mean,
camera.
how
I don't.
long
It
was
was
that?
5.
Ja, ik had echt al lang P1 moeten rijden en
I
weg
haven't
zijn.
followed F1
Al die
for
NS
five
speaking.
years. Pretty new to it.
I've just.
Ik merk echt dat elke keer als een ander een fout maakt in mijn nadeel, maak ik zelf keihard fouten.
A model
Echt.
basically. Like.
En als ik 1 fout maak, dan
Ah.
gaat het wel.
We hadden echt nog zo van geweest dat die lofte race ons daar niet uitgehaald.
Ja,
De
inderdaad.
lofte race mij daar heeft uitgehaald, was uw race verpest voor mij ook. Allee, verpest, je bent niet P3, dus zo van.
Oh, hey, ik heb plaats gewonnen!
I mean, since they've already got like tire
Ah, ik heb een plaats gewonnen op Nova, omdat hij van de baan is gegaan.
transferring that, but making on the tire.
Wat een raar. Dat is Nova, too slow. What, stay behind Nova nu? Bre, come on.
If your tires are
Why you do me like
minus
this?
200 degrees, then you don't want tires to look red.
Not that glitch again.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also horrible.
Kom binnen.
If it happens in a big race.
Waar, kom
No one
binnen.
seems to be playing around the boat
Wacht,
a bit.
wat? Illegale
Safety cars come in this
inhaalactie.
lap, though. And so we'll have 3 laps of well.
Laat hem voorbij, ja.
he's driving. Sabotage.
Anders ga je
did
niet
take
naar
that
ik weet niet.
stop,
Kies,
so
kies maar, ik ga je geen dingen zeggen.
the wet tires
What the
were
fuck?
completely abandoned. Although I mean, honestly, it kind of looks like a Bulbasaur though, ignoring yellow flags. He's picked up a 5-second time penalty for that. Let's take a look at the penalties.
Nova, what the fuck are you doing?
If you look at the penalties now, I mean, it's
Aan de wijze dat hij een
only
clean
two
driver is.
P3, which.
Nou, hij is tegen Kevin gereden, hij steekt mij voorbij.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's
Weer al,
really
heeft die
contented
gast
for
nog met
anything
safety
here.
cars?
Probably gonna be
Dead
12.
last.
Yeah. Although, let's hope and let's get past ATL Jordan, and then we can have a really good championship fight in our hands here.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, I don't know if he has to win this race. I think he does though.
Yeah,
He has to
let's
win
see,
this
okay,
race to have a better chance.
Allee, come on,
safety car
serieus?
is in this lap, but Nova down the inside of Jordy, who got past him. But Nova with front wing damage on the right side of that Mercedes, car number 12, has basically had to let Jordy by. And Neuromancer has gotten past Amids though, unfortunately. So it looks like Amids didn't have the best restart, and Neuromancer is catching up to the leaders. But Nova off track, the front wing, especially in these wet conditions, is crucial to get around the circuit, as the tires are going to have much less grip, and he's just bleeding time to the cars behind. But it looks like Impado, it's a Red Bull, 8-6. Lord Raptorgus, he's looking to get his first points in this race as well, and Left Race could get points, even some more. He's down in P12, but he's 2 laps behind, so I don't think he can do that.
I mean, if you look at Nova, nobody would think he would have hit on the safety car for a new front wing and just try to make that old background, like during these 2 laps. But he didn't do it, and now he's just doing kind of the guts of it. But he's able to hold on.
Well, he's paying the price, but it could have been the right choice. We only, as you said, there's only 3 laps to go, but they're 3 wide back here between Impado, Lord Raptorgus, and Mr. Unicorn. Mr. Unicorn extending the track limits a little bit. They're almost, they're in a concertina of 5 cars pretty much there, all the way from Mr. Unicorn back to Adam, and they're just swapping places all the time. Mr. Unicorn tries to go down the inside, a little contact on the right side of that car, but he is back on track, and a little tank slapper on the back, but he is able to get through. Left Race still picking up another time penalty for multiple warnings, and I gotta apologize to him. It was supposed to be dry here today, but Mr. Unicorn is getting past Lord Raptorgus, and so is Impado, past the pair of them, as Neuromancer now up into P3, and he's up into the podium places, and so is Amids. Amids is on the back of Neuromancer and Nova as well, but just a little bit farther back as we move back down the grid, as Cuthbert now does get past Lord Raptorgus, and he's bleeding positions as well. If his teammate doesn't overtake him, he does have a point on his hands, but for the moment, it's not looking super likely, as he's not having the best pace out here, especially in the...
Yeah, the contact goes between Amids and Neuromancer, if you interact with him. I don't know if there's wing damage there, but he could definitely, I mean, those Amids he could definitely be on the podium here.
Well, Nova with that front wing...
What happened to Amids?
Amids is fine, he just got overtaken by Mr. Unicorn, who is now on a rampage. Look at how the extra pace that he's having. Getting past Impado and up to Neuromancer, and we know Neuromancer now has front wing damage on the right side of that car. I saw him make slight contact with the car ahead of Nova. Through that corner that well, and he did get a bit of damage on the front left side of that wing. But Lord Raptorgus and his teammate are still battling for that last place, or that last points playing position. But back to the start, it looks like Mr. Unicorn and Neuromancer going side by side into that turn 11 corner, I believe it is, cutting the track a little bit, but Mr. Unicorn with no penalties. He definitely has that overall pace, but Amid's now back in P7. He has to just get a few more points, and then you're going to be in championship contention. But let's
it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that corner there, where Mr. Unicorn made the move, that's where we've been seeing, like, a lot of the racing happen today. Like, that's where the moves have been happening, and going side by side into the next couple of corners.
But as I was saying before... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting since... I mean, I always feel like it looks like... At least when you look on the track map and look on the track, it looks...
Bol, P3
like Abu Dhabi, like the... I think third sector it is. There, the corners look really similar, but just that little, like, not being completely 90 degree and being a bit wider, that makes it so good for side-by-side racing.
Well, Abu Dhabi with those 90 degrees corners, it just ruins everything. 90 degree, terrible. Slightly over, slightly less, great, honestly. I mean, it's really hard to strike that balance, but that's what we're seeing on these modern tracks. But we are now on the last lap of this Grand Prix, and Jordy and Bulbasaur are battling for that P1 spot. Although Bulbasaur with 5 seconds extra in time penalties, it looks like Jordy might clinch this win overall, and well, Mr. is in contention for that. But look at how close it is up in front as Impado now passed Nova. Nova just bleeding positions. He will also to Sabotage, who now picks up a little bit of damage, I believe. Although Nova, more damage on the front right of that Mercedes. It's harder for him to stop, so he might have hit the back of the Red Bull up ahead. But Sabotage, who was in P10 after taking a pit stop for wets, full wets, and then coming back, he's coming through. But if Bulbasaur does nothing about this, they're coming through that turn 14 now. And well, he's going to come across the line first, possibly, maybe even second. But Nova now back in P6 as well, and Impado up into P5. Neuromancer with a great drive from him, he's in P4 at the moment. And the Williams, well, they said, Well, we both got crashed out and fallen to the back of this race. Well, look what they have. They're now in P2 and P1, or P2 and P3, as Bulbasaur comes across the line to take P1, but Jordy does take that win.
Honest.
Let's see, Mr. Unicorn. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, he's probably gonna be P6. I think P.
Hoe the fuck ben ik nog in P3 geraakt?
As, yeah, Mr. Unicorn comes across in P3. It's a Williams 1-3 Neuromancer in P4 with Impado in Neuromancer in P5. Amids jumps up into P6 as they're all coming, but look at that. Cuthbert. I don't think he got any penalties. Look, he's already up into P6. You can just see how consistency from Cuthbert has paid off for him. Lord Raptor got Adam both in the points, but Sabotage, unfortunately, only squeaking out 1 point, and Nova and Lord Raptor got the only finishers not
Oh, is dat?
Yeah, we saw that Bulbasaur.
Yep. I mean, if you take the penalties in the games or in the yeah, if you take it away, like after the race, the points count as a win. Like if Bulbasaur gets his 5-second penalty removed, would he get the win?
Yes.
Like yeah.
Well, Neuromancer, we were watching that, so we have a
Damn, ik ben wel verrast van mijn eigen dat ik maar 3 seconden penalty heb gehad van hoe noem het, van track limits.
Top 3 drivers are all Belgian.
90% van de races achter een safety car. Ik heb legit meer track limits achter een safety car gescoord dan.
Impado, Neuromancer, Cuthbert, Amids, Lord
What a
Raptor,
nest.
Adam, Sabotage, Nova, Love to Race, Johnny, Philip, Ethan, Maldonado, and most. Let's take a look at that race director.
Het was echt een shit race.
The incident specifically. Just take a.
Waar is Jordi?
Nee, hij is weggegaan. Ik denk dat hij terug naar de tweede race.
28 seconds. There's a long incident report. Would you like to start the interview process?
Sure, who are we getting in?
Let's get Maldonado if he's in VT.
Yeah, let's take Maldonado. He isn't in currently. I'll buy him and I'll see if he can.
Well, I'll try to find. Chat, any requests for, you know, for who